everyone. You are watching Funny EHS Info. Today in this presentation, we are going know about the Petroleum Act 1934 and Petroleum Rules 2002. The Petroleum Act 1934, the Petroleum Rules 2002. The Petroleum Act was enacted to consolidate and amend the law relating to the import, transport, storage, production, refining and blending of petroleum and other inflammable substances. The Petroleum Rules 1937 were made under the Act. Arrangement of sections. Preliminary sections. 1. Short title, extent and commencement. 2. Definitions. Chapter 1. Control over petroleum. 3. Import, transport and storage of petroleum. 4. Rules for the import, transport and storage of petroleum. 5. Production, refining and blending of petroleum. 6. Receptacles of petroleum class A to show a warning. 7. No license needed for transport or storage of limited quantities of petroleum class B or petroleum class C. 8. No license needed for import, transport or storage of small quantities of petroleum class A. 9. Exemptions for motor conveyances and stationary engines. 10. No license needed by Railway Administration acting as carrier. 11. Exemption of heavy oils. 12. General power of exemption. 13. Inspection of places. Chapter to the testing of petroleum. 14. Inspection and sampling of petroleum. 15. Standard test apparatus. 16. Certification of other test apparatus. 17. Testing officers. 18. Manner of test. 19. Certificate of testing. 20. Right to require retest. 21. Power to make rules regarding tests. 22. Special rules for testing viscous or solid forms of petroleum. Chapter 3. Penalties and procedure. 23. General penalty for offences under this Act. 24. Confiscation of petroleum and receptacles. 25. Jurisdiction. 26. Power of entry and search. 26. Notice of accidents with petroleum. 27. Inquiries into serious accidents with petroleum. Chapter 4. Supplemental. 28. Provisions relating to rules. 29. Repealed. 30. Power to limit powers of local authorities over petroleum. 31. Repealed. The Schedule. The Petroleum Rules 2002. These rules were enacted under Section 29 of the Petroleum Act, 1934. They came into force on 13th March 2002. They have 12 chapters, 202 rules, 5 schedules and 20 forms under the second schedule. Some of the important rules discussed below. Rule 3. Restriction on delivery and dispatch of petroleum. No person shall deliver or dispatch any petroleum to anyone in India other than the holder of a storage license issued under these rules or his authorized agents or a port authority or a railway administration or to a person authorized under the Act to store petroleum without a license. Sec. 7. License is required for storage of more than 2,500 liters of petroleum class B and more than 45,000 liters of petroleum class C. License is required for storage of more than 30 liters of petroleum class A. Rule 10. No child under the age of 18 years and no person who is in state of intoxication shall be employed on the loading, unloading or transport of petroleum product or in any licensed premises. Rule 12. Special precautions against accident. 1. No person shall commit or attempt to commit any act which may tend to cause a fire or explosion in or about any place where 2. Petroleum is refined, stored or handled or any vehicle, carriage or vessel in which petroleum is transported. 3. Every person storing petroleum and every person in charge of or engaged in the storage, handling or transport of petroleum shall at all times 1. Comply with the provisions of these rules and the conditions of any license relating thereto. 2. Observe all precautions for prevention of accident by fire or explosion and prevent any person from committing any act referred to in Subrule 1. Rule 24. Notice of accidents with petroleum shall give notice within prescribed time to the nearest district magistrate or to the nearest police station and to the chief controller of explosives about the incidence of an accident involving petroleum products within 24 hours. Rule 28. No leaky tank or container containing petroleum shall be tendered for transport. Rule 30. Restriction on passengers, combustible and inflammable cargo. No ship, vessel or vehicle shall carry petroleum Class A, Class B and Class C in bulk if is carrying passengers or any combustible cargo other than petroleum. Rule 71. Specification for electrical installation in vehicles employed for transportation specified and to be complied with for pressure of electrical circuit not to exceed 24 volts and for electrical wiring junction boxes. Rule 72, 73, 74. A portable fire extinguisher, 10 kilograms DCP type or equivalent, shall be provided. Additionally, 1 DCP of 1 kilogram shall be in the driver's cabin. Vehicles to be constantly attended. No vehicle carrying petroleum shall be parked on a public road, congested area or at a place within 9 meters from any source of fire. Rule 78. Precaution against static charge or prescribed and to be complied with including petroleum pipelines entering any tank. Vehicle loading or unloading area shall be electrically continuous and be efficiently earthed. An earth boss with a flexible cable having robust clamping device shall be provided adjacent to the loading point. Sound and electrically continuous hoses or metal pipes. The tank, filling pipe, and the chassis of the tank shall during of a tank vehicle shall be efficiently bonded and connected with the earth boss. Dip rod shall be lowered into the tank before loading operation. Such a rod shall not be completely raised about the liquid level during or within 1 minute of the completion of such loading. No tank vehicle shall be loaded at a rate exceeding 1 meter second at the delivery and of the filling pipe is completely submerged in petroleum, and thereafter the loading rate may be gradually increased, but it shall no time exceed 6 meters second at the delivery of the filling pipe. Rule 98. Repair and maintenance of pipeline. Inspection by an experienced engineer for assessment of work. Written work permits specifying precautions to be observed and procedure to be followed. The section of the pipeline shall be isolated, drained and purged with inert gas or steam or kept filled with water or treatment approved by the CC. Work of cutting and welding to be carried out by an experienced person in accordance with the permit. Only mechanical cutters shall be used for cutting the pipeline or any connection thereof unless it has been purged with an inert gas. Separation of pipeline or valve fitted to it only after providing the electrical bond between the parts to be separated, and the bond shall not be broken till the parts have been rejoined. Reuse of the required section only after the hydro test as stated in Rule 93. Rule 98. Classification of hazardous area. Hazardous area means where petroleum having FP below 65 degrees Celsius or any inflammable gas or vapor capable of ignition is likely to be present, or 2. Petroleum or any inflammable liquid having FP above 65 degrees Celsius is likely to be refined, blended, handled or stored at or above its FP. It classified as under Zone 0, where inflammable gases vapors are likely to be continuously present. Zone 1, where they are likely to be present under normal operating conditions. Zone 2, where they are likely to be present only under abnormal operating conditions or failure or rupture of equipment. Rule 130. Certificate of Safety. Competent person shall issue a certificate of safety in the prescribed format before any installation is used for storage of petroleum product. Form 1. Rule 131. Obtain prior approval of specification and plans of premises proposed to be licensed for storage. Any person desirous to obtain a license for import or storage shall obtain prior approval of the specifications and plan drawing in accordance with the provisions of these rules. Key specifications for proper planning of storage of petroleum products. Prevention against fire by making no smoking zone, not allowing inflammable or ignitable material storage in the area, provision of adequate number of fire extinguishers for all fire. Cleanliness of installation storage cell. Proper drainage facilities in such a way that no water accumulation is allowed inside the enclosures. Water drainage through a pipe and a valve fitted outside enclosure. Exclusion of unauthorized persons to be ensured by a wall or fence of at least 1.8 m in height. Only petroleum to be stored in the shed enclosure. Conspicuous marking of tanks in LTRs. Iron and steel in accordance with IS code to be used as construction material. Height of storage tank shall not exceed 1.5 times its diameter or 20 meters, whichever less. An air space of not less than 5% of the total capacity of the tank or the space prescribed in the code of specification, whichever is less shall be kept in each tank. Use of protective coating or Catholic protection for protection against corrosion. Testing of tanks before put into use or after reinstallation major repair. Proper earthing of tanks. Testing of earth connections by a competent person at least once in 12 months and maintenance of the records. Restricted night working after sunset and before sunrise.